Now for part two, we're going to go ahead and use video analysis to go ahead and insert our own movie. All right. So in this case here, I'm going to be in Logger Pro. I'm going to go File, Open, go into Tutorials, and I'm going to go to 12 Video Analysis. All right. Do you want to save the current file before? Don't save. All right, so we had this before, but now what we're going to do is we're going to go Insert, Movie. All right, but before we can do that, we actually have to get the movie. So you guys are going to take a video and you're going to upload it. All right, but to show you here also, we can go ahead and end up using in Moodle. I've got under Topic 4, Kinematics in 2 Dimensions. We've got a video, it says Tennis Ball Video Analysis. So I'm going to have you guys go ahead and double click on that and it will download. All right. So I already did that earlier. So now it's downloaded. So now I come back here to my Logger Pro and under Insert, I'm going to go Insert Movie. For you, there'll be something up here that says Recent Downloads, basically. Recent. You're going to click on that and you'll see that the movie just downloaded right there. For me, I have to go to Downloads because that's where I recently downloaded it. So now I'm going to double click on that. And here it is. So I'm going to move this up here. I'm going to kind of click on this button. It's going to give me a graph. And like we did before, we're going to go ahead and end up using the dots to see where the ball lands. Now, this ball, in this case, took a long time for me to set it up before the ball actually even shows up. So here you can see it probably about like halfway in the video. So now I'm going to go ahead and put dots kind of in the center of the ball best I can every second as it moves along. All right, try to get it where you see like not the blur but the whole thing best you can. So I click on that. I'd say the ball looks like about right here, about right there, there, about right there, and then maybe this will be the last one just before it hits the ground. Alright, so then you can see it hits the ground. Now, remember, like last time, our scaling, 200 meters, 400 meters, 600 meters, I don't think it went that far, right? So I'm going to come up here to set scale, click on that, and in this case, you can see there was a meter stick on the ground. So I'm going to click from one end of the meter stick to the other end, and that's 1 meter. Hey, and it says 1, so I'm good. Hit OK. Now you can see, all right, kind of fell about a meter off the table, which seems about the right height, right, for a meter stick, and for a table, about 1 meter high. All right, so now that we have that, we really just need to use this. All right, we don't really need so much this video anymore, so we can kind of shrink that a little bit, maybe get it out of the way, and enlarge this one. All right. Now, if by chance you clicked for some odd reason here on this by accident, you can always, let's say like I clicked, let's say I put a dot, an extra dot here. Well, the ball wasn't there. Oh, that's no good. Now it's like all off. I got an extra dot here I don't want. Right? So I click on this little white arrow, and I can click on that point, and then I can just go on my keyboard and hit delete, right? And that should take it away. So, right, any extra dots, you can always get those out of there that way. All right, so anyways, now what you have to do is, once again, right, do like we did before. We're going to go ahead and click on, in this case, I did Y displacement. I'm going to go ahead and highlight that, right? And I'm going to go ahead up here to my curve fit option, and I'm going to go quadratic because that's what kind of curve it is. Quadratic. It's a parabola. And I hit try fit. I hit OK, and now I've got that right there. Now I'm going to go ahead and double click on that box, and I'm going to go ahead and change, actually I don't want to change the significant figures, I want to change the appearance. I want to change this so it says like 14. Let's try that. What is that? What does that really do? It just makes my numbers bigger so I can read them. And you want to make sure that you always move your box, right, so you can see your curve. All right, now that I've done that, I'm going to shrink this just a little bit, right? Look at that. I shrunk it like that. I've got my data, right? It's not blocking any labels. I can see the curve. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to right click and I'm going to copy that. And the reason I'm going to copy that is because now you have to go ahead and put it into your video analysis lab. All right. So I'm downloading the video analysis lab, which is right below the tennis ball video analysis. Right. I'm going to open it. Should have had this opened earlier. Give it a second, right? All right, so cancel. Don't need updates right now. So here, I've got this, right? Which graph did we just do? We did the Y, right? Y graph. So I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to put in where it says Y. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paste, all right, that graph in there. Ooh, that's a little big. So I'm going to click on it and I'm going to shrink it, right? I'm going to take it in the corner. I'm going to shrink it down. Oops, don't go too far because otherwise it'll flip it. Well, it's still not small enough. I still want to try and get it so it fits in here like that. All right. So now I can kind of stretch it out this maybe a little less. Okay, so up here, right, I had to do the FX or curve fit quadratic formula. And I'm going to take the acceleration, which is the A variable, times 2. When I look at that, it says like negative 5.7. So if I look at that, negative 5.730, when I go ahead and do that, comes out to be times 2, that is. 5.73 times 2. 5.73 times 2, 11.46. So I get 11.46 for my value, 11.46. And what are the units of this? Well, let's see. It was supposed to be a negative 11.4, right? What are the units on a quadratic? Get a curve. I want to get a curve on a position time graph. What does that mean? It's kind of like a half of a what? A frowny face. Oh yeah, that must be acceleration. Meters per second, right? So those are the units. And they did ask for an acceleration, so that would make sense. That's a meters per second. All right, so you got to do that same thing for the other ones. You know, now that I look at this, right? If I come back here, you can't really see this too well in yours. Let's try going up to 18. What would that do? Oh, that's nice and big, right? You can see that pretty good. Let's see if we were to go ahead and maybe shrink it just a little bit more too. What if we did that and kind of did this, right? Oh, it does cover a little bit, but it does make it a lot easier to read. Let's see if we copy this now. What if I were to go ahead and right click and let's try it again. Click on the box, so it's got the little dots, right? Now I should be able to copy it. Come back to this document. If I delete that and I were to go ahead and paste again, oops, still pretty big. Let's see if we can shrink this one. It kind of fits in there, right? There you go. Oop, not quite small enough. Let's do that. There you go. So now you can see it, right? You can really see those numbers. That really helps out. So size 18 is what we want to go ahead and have those. So that's part of your grade is here to go ahead and get it so it's readable. So now you know size 18 works pretty good. So try that on out. Okay, do that for the Y velocity, right? Come up here, click on Y velocity, and do what it says, right? What's it say to do? It says use the R equals, which means linear, right? and that means find the slope and go ahead and find the acceleration. Down here, the R equals means linear. So the ones in yellow, that's just the button to hit. The green, that's going to go ahead and tell you what you need to find. And the slope equals velocity, right? You don't have to find something for slope and velocity because the slope is the velocity. That's why it says slope equals velocity equals what number? All right. So continue that up, and then I'll have you guys print that off, and we should be in good shape. All right. Thanks. Good luck.